How's it going, everyone? I'm doing a review on Benchmade 707 sequel. This is a knife that I am again potentially trading off, so I wanted to do a quick review of it before it goes away. This is a knife that I originally purchased because I wanted it to appease my need for this guy, small Sabenza. I didn't feel like spending a couple $100 on this knife that I thought maybe this one could fulfill all the tasks that I would want it to do as a primary EDC. Ultimately, these two blades, for me, I just like carrying a larger blade like the large Sabenza or say Umnumzan. But this knife, I think if you were just using it as a normal day EDC, would totally do everything that this knife would do, of course. But ultimately, I just had to get the small Sabenza to match up with my large micarta Sabenza. So this knife gets no use whatsoever. But in its own right, this is a great knife. The Benchmade 707 sequel with its nice drop tip. I think it's clip point or a drop point blade. It's got this beautiful swedge. The way that they did the grinding on this blade is great. A flat ground blade here. This is kind of a collaboration with McHenry Williams, as you can see there. It is a 154 CM blade, so it's not like the S35 VN blade on the Sabenza. But again, in its own right, 154 CM is a great steel. It's got dual thumb studs. The blade length is 2.95 inches. And I think the overall length of this knife is right under 7 inches, if I'm correct. But you know, this has the axis lock mechanism, so very quick one-handed opening and closing. Well, at least snapping up with the thumb studs like that. Closing definitely with the axis lock is a great. I think it's a joy to use for sure. But again, I've never used this blade at all. As you can see, the knife length comparisons between this knife and the Sage 1 on top, right there. And then we have the Delica with the ZDP 189 blade. Then we have the small Sabenza, and then this is the large Sabenza. Overall, this knife just fits really comfortably in the hand. It does have jimping on the liners. These are stainless steel liners, I believe 420J stainless steel liners. They are pretty much just there for ornamental use, design, aesthetics maybe. I don't know. If it's aesthetics, I would rather it just be smooth. But it's got the jimping, but it really doesn't necessarily lock your grip in as well as some of these other knives. Again, Spyderco's jimping works way better than this blade. I think the 710 jimping is probably going to be pretty similar to this, as well as say like 940 from Benchmade. So those are, yeah, the jimping that Benchmade does, especially on by the grips, you know, that are inside the scales, I don't think are very good. The way that this knife, the handles are aluminum scales right here, and then it's got a G10 inlay. I don't know if this is glued on or if, I don't know how they affix this onto the aluminum scale, but it's in there and it's not going anywhere. Kind of like the inlays, these micarta inlays on the Sabenza. It's really well done. It's very comfortable. It does add a little bit of grip as you're holding it here. But again, I think it's more about aesthetics than anything. This is a great gentleman's folder. It's not going to be jeweled up like a William Henry knife or anything like that. Or I think the Sabenzas definitely look better, but the blade shape with the handle here, it is a very eye-pleasing knife for sure. So the Benchmade 707 sequel, I think, is a great knife, especially as you're in the beginning phases of knife collecting. If you're not up for spending, the $400 or plus for a Sabenza or a small Sabenza, this is definitely a great knife to use and to have. I'm kind of, as I'm doing the review, kind of regretting the possibility of trading this, but it seems like it's a too good of a deal for me to pass up. So again, you see the size comparisons here, and you can kind of match it up accordingly to the knives that you own and stuff like that. So hopefully this is a helpful review just to get another look at this knife if you're thinking about buying it. I think it's a great value for sure for what you get. Again, 154 cm, 3-inch blade for the most part, 7 inches all together. It's a great knife. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe and comment, and thanks.